Hello, this is Market Matters. I'm Khoo, and of course, this is Sulhi Azman. Max, today the market up 16 points or 1% to 1680. Another day in the north because of rising oil prices. Gainers for Sime, Axiata Maybank loses Top Glove, Evergreen, Genting Plantations, 1.7 billion shares, 2.1 billion ringgit. Nice day in the market.
Yes, KLCI is at 7-week high today, the highest since January 4th early this year, and it's going to be interesting to see what could be going into the volatile market, especially the IPOs, given the fact that the sentiments are actually quite slow and quite weak.
Yeah, well, we saw the Q4 GDP announced today, 4.5%. That's better than Bloomberg median expectations of 4.1%. Better than expectations, but not as good as Q3 GDP, 4.7%. Now, of course, growth is slowing because of oil prices, overseas shipments, exports also slowing down. But, it's going to be a slow year. Everybody seems to think so.
Yeah, correct. If you look at the M&A research, for instance, they expect the 2016 GDP to slow down to 4.5%, and while RAM Ratings, they sent an email today saying that Malaysia's GDP growth is going to moderate to 4.4% in 2016 because of the headwinds in domestic and external fronts as well. But the government's Chuang, they say that the growth is going to lie between 4% and 4.5% when they recalibrate the budget 2016. Do you believe in those numbers?
I don't believe in GDP at all. I think GDP is a flawed metric, but who am I to say anyway, right? A whole country's output measured in just one number, but hey, what is that, right? Okay, overall in the region, had a broad rise thanks to oil, which is at $34.5 for Brent, $31 for West Texas. Indonesia, huge market there, now trading at 26 times earnings. That's a valuation record, by the way. Confidence there is so high because of government spending on infrastructure. So it's good. It's been a good year for them and looking good as well. So in the region, Max, the Nikkei 225 adding 360 points or 2.3% to 16,197 points. The Hang Seng in Hong Kong adding 438 points or 2.3% as well to 19,363 points. And the Shanghai Composite down by 4 points or 0.2% to 2,862 points. Now, SapuraKencana, the oil and gas company, what's happening with them?
Well, today in the Asian markets, there was a report saying that during the intraday trade, they actually breached the 2 ringgit mark, for the first time in 1 month, and on oil rebound as investors speculate on Iran's likelihood to join the oil production freeze. You've known that the Arabs and also the Putin of the Russia has been telling the world that, hey, to safeguard the oil prices, we need to do some production cut, and therefore, because of this news flow, SapuraKencana was up and it rose nearly 5% today during the intraday trade.
Yeah, 8 cents to 198, just 2 cents short of $2. But the Russians and the Saudis might be saying to themselves, let's freeze production for January. But to make that happen, everybody's got to play ball as well. So the Iranians have got to play ball, the Iraqis got to play ball. I don't see the Iranians playing ball because they want to come back and get some market share, right?
Yeah, correct. And they could actually flood the market if they wanted to.
If they wanted to,
by 3 million barrels per day. Now that's going to really, really crowd the market. Now, analyst calls as on February 10th. TA Research has a sell call on 1.65 ringgit. Their concerns are of the high net gearing at 1.3 times. Now, we all know that SapuraKencana is one of the highest borrowers in the market, oil and gas, because they have these to fund for their projects. Order book of 21.5 billion ringgit, and that is a concern for TA Research. Yeah,
for JF Apex, it's quite the opposite. They think it's a roaring buy, $2.75 as a target price. They believe the huge order book story, 21.5 billion ringgit, as you say. South America, 57%. That's not bad. Malaysia, just about a quarter of that, 27%. Other Southeast Asian countries, 8%. Africa, 2%. Australia, 1%. So CIMB is a big negative on SapuraKencana. They think it's a hold, target price 184.
Yeah, correct. And this is very interesting, Chuang. When CIMB a few days ago, they downgraded the whole oil and gas sectors, and they also downgrade SapuraKencana as well. But do you believe in SapuraKencana's story, Tan Sri Shari Samsudin, the oil and gas magnate?
Well, it's out of their hands, right? Because it's they can't control the larger global machinations. They're just supplying to the market. So if they're not getting paid, if they're not getting the projects, then they're just as stuffed as the rest of the sector. So as to summarize for SapuraKencana, the stock surged past $2 on the already intraday, but closed at 198. Analysts are divided over SapuraKencana's prospects, with TA saying the sell, target price 165 due to the high gearing levels, versus JF Apex's roaring buy with a target price of 275 on their order book size and spread of geography.